Um, how much pressure was on you going into this? I mean, did you feel anything at all, or do you just like, hey, whatever, man?
Not the pressure of the fight with Said. Pressure of my career.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's what I meant essentially. I mean,
yeah,
coming off a skid like that, and then do you feel that coming into this and feel like, man, like a fourth in a row
yeah,
that usually spells problems for everybody. So
yeah. I told myself going in, I'm like, I can probably convince even with a loss, I can probably convince maybe one more prove it to me deal, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to put that in anyone else's hands. Um, yeah, this camp, on top of everything else, the long layoff, um, you know, you know, figuring out what to do finances with that long of a layoff, and this fight camp has been filled with more adversity than I have in any other fight camp put together. I started off with a car accident that I have no idea how I walked away from. I'm going to put photos up on my Instagram and just show up basically the chain of events that happened this fight camp. And I'm going to put this out here. Everyone, make sure you wear your seatbelts. I was not wearing mine like an idiot because I took it off about moments before and I rear-ended someone going about 70 miles an hour. I have no idea how I'm awake or alive at all. That's how I started off my fight camp, with a pretty, so my neck was jacked up pretty good for that for a couple weeks. Um, and then I had some stuff going on with stomach issues. I went to the ER 4 total times. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Figured it was, gastritis or then an ulcer. And then, 2 weeks ago back in the ER, or 3 weeks ago, I was back in the ER. And finally found out what the problem was. I was pregnant. I had some kidney stones, and that was the problem of everything. So this has been one heck of a fight camp.
wow, man, holy cow! So that puts lots of things in perspective beyond obviously just I mean, you're dealing with a sport as it's your career, it's your livelihood, but you're dealing with a sport. But then you talk about stuff like that, and you're talking about much bigger picture stuff.
Yeah, no, and it's and I just kept looking at my daughters and everything else. I'm not where I want to be at the end of my career with my goals that I set out to do when I first started fighting. We're should be getting closer now, but with this win, hopefully can help me get there. And I want to put on a real fight camp. I want to be in the best shape I can be. I told Big John and as a commentator, I mean, I made weight just fine, but I'm flabbier than I used to be or than I wanted to be, just because I had so much going on hell with everything else outside. Feel like this is the best version of me that was out there. And I just look forward to getting another fight.
I mean, you're a heavyweight though, and you guys can always go a little bit longer into your career, deeper in your career. You're 38, 39?
Just turned 38.
Okay, so like, do you have like is there a goal line
ideally it would
marked for you?
Ideally it'd be 4 more fights, and then from there take it from there. I mean, 2-3 fights a year. I'd like to get that in before I'm 40.
Sure.
I don't envision going past 40 much, but I never know. I've always said I'm going to go till my body and my brain tells me otherwise. As of right now, I mean, I've had some hiccups, so I'm still able to keep up with all these young fellas that are full of piss and vinegar.
Sure. And obviously getting your hand raised for the first time in 2.5 years had to feel pretty dang good.
So. It was. I just wish it was against some other opponent. If both of us could have won out there, that I would have loved that, because Said deserves to be with this organization. He's a great fighter. He should have been ranked. We both should have been ranked opponents fighting each other. And I look forward. I hope he gets to know himself another contract, and he gets to stick with Bellator as well.
Did it play out like you figured it would in there? And I guess sort of what was there a game plan going into it, or did you just kind of figure we got to see what he presents and then go from there?
Yeah. I actually thought he was going to be throwing a lot more leg kicks than he did. I had a game plan, cut corners. My Moldavsky fight, I kind of just was rushing in, not doing much footwork. This time I attempted it, but that didn't work either. So I ended up just rushing in on Said as well. And yeah, I don't know. We kind of had a game plan, and some of it worked, some of it didn't. Said, was just killing me with those front teeps for a minute there, and couldn't find range on it. And luckily, I was able to get a couple of good takedowns. I haven't had a good solid takedown, and I can't remember how many fights. So it's kind of good to feel, get a couple of good hard ones in.
Yeah, those were nice highlights for sure. Back in the win column, obviously we kind of know the immediate title picture. But it doesn't sound like you're also saying, "Hey, man, I need to be like right there next in line" or anything like that. But what is the sort of the next move for you at this point?
Steve Mowry, Sioux Falls, South Dakota in August.
That's what you want.
Yeah,
Boom.
there it is.
Do we know for sure that the Sioux Falls in August is happening? Or
Little Bird told me.
okay, nice. Doing your own.
You got to remember, that's my area. People in Sioux Falls tell me things.
Awesome, fantastic. That's a great call out. And you get that one though. You beat a guy like that. Now
Me and Ryan Bader had a gentleman's agreement that we never got to do.
So then that's what you want to get after that one.
Yeah,
Perfect. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. Congrats.
Thank you.
Hey, Tim. Kay Williams for Can Chronicles Media. Congratulations on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Was tonight's win a sense of redemption, being that you lost your 3 fights prior?
Probably to myself. And I've said this also going in, my last 3 opponents all fought for the belt or are fighting for the belt. Over 70% of the people I fought in Bellator, in my Bellator career, have fought for the belt or had the belt. So yeah, I mean, my competition level is right up there, and that's no excuse. I came here to fight the top. That's what I wanted to come to Bellator to do, and I want to try to do one more run here and see what happens.
Absolutely. And in tonight's win, you were really able to control the pace of the match. Was that a strategy by your corner tonight coming into tonight's match?
It was a strategy, with my partner, my training partners and stuff, especially the TP, me and him we get a lot of work in together, and we go a pretty high pace, but every fighter's, I've said this for years, every fighter's got their kind of special thing they do. Mine's to get, for somehow I generally get people to kind of fight into my skill level I don't know if that makes sense, but I was able to keep the fight pace at my pace. I felt like for the majority of it, and that's a good place to be because I don't burn myself out. I get locked into where I want to do what I want to, how much I want to throw, and where I want to be at. So it just worked out tonight.
And also, what are some of the other things that you felt as though contributed to your win tonight?
Will, I didn't win tonight. We were basically homeless. That's probably was done. I'd be going back to Minnesota, literally, right? Been packing our bags, our house, and be like, that's probably done. I could have maybe convinced Bellator for one more fight, but that's not a guarantee. I mean, we were both fighting on contracts right now, and I had a lot of thoughts of my daughters, and wanting them to have a little better start than a lot of people do.
Tim, congratulations on your win.
Thank you. All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Congrats.